Before we had social media, we had them all. Think about what social media promises to do. Show you what your friends are doing. Introduce you to new people. Tell you what everybody is wearing. Let you discover music, movies, games, and trends. Give you somewhere to waste time when you're bored. And, whether we admit it or not, give you a place to be seen. Gen X already had all of that. We just had to leave the house to access it. Our network had escalators, a food court, a multiplex, and an arcade. For me, Saturday meant Aladdin's castle. I was an arcade kid. I could live in there. Quarters disappeared into machines, while somebody waited behind you for the next game. Somebody else watched you score, and somebody you didn't know could become somebody you knew because they were standing next to the same cabinet. That wasn't unusual. Researchers studying teenagers in malls during the 1980s found exactly that mixture. Seeing friends, playing video games, shopping, and simply watching other people were major reasons teenagers kept coming back. The arcade was our gaming community, but the network extended beyond it. Walk out of the arcade and your feed refreshed automatically. Who's here? Who's hanging out with whom? What are they wearing? Did somebody from another school show up? Maybe somebody knew somebody who knew you. There was no recommendation algorithm deciding who entered your world. Geography, chance, and whoever happened to walk around the corner did that. The mall could expand your social circle beyond your classroom, neighborhood, or usual group simply because everybody occupied the same space. And walking the mall was basically scrolling. You rarely needed a destination. You wandered. Something interesting appeared, so you stopped. Something didn't interest you, so you kept moving. Except the content was people. The mall made people watching part of the architecture. Researchers were documenting teenagers doing exactly that as early as 1985. The difference was that nobody could endlessly curate the feed beforehand. You encountered people you wouldn't necessarily choose, and they encountered you. Sometimes that became a conversation. Sometimes a friendship. Sometimes just a story you told later. Then there was the profile page. We called it getting dressed. The clothes you bought at the mall became part of the information you broadcast when you returned. Shoes, jeans, band shirts, jackets, hair. Those choices told everybody something before you said a word. Music stores did the same thing for taste. The arcade showed what you played. The theater showed what everybody was watching. Your identity wasn't contained in a bio and a collection of posts. You carried it around with you, and other people reacted to it in real time. The food court was another part of the network. You could regroup there, find out what everybody wanted to do next, or just sit around long enough for somebody else to appear. My mall routine included an Orange Julius with an egg in it. That's one of those details that instantly takes me back. But the important part wasn't the drink. It was stopping, sitting, talking, watching people pass, waiting to see who showed up. Today, we can communicate instantly from anywhere. Back then, sometimes you had to remain somewhere long enough for life to come to you. The multiplex had its own version of network behavior too. You found out what everybody was seeing, met friends outside, bought popcorn, and came out talking about the same movie everybody else would be talking about Monday. And sometimes the network included a workaround. Buy a ticket for the PG movie, get inside, and then sneak into the R-rated movie. I'm not recommending it. I'm telling you what we did. That little bit of mischief is part of the larger story, because malls gave teenagers enough freedom to make choices without an adult hovering over every one of them. That freedom was never completely free. Adults worried about teenagers hanging around malls and arcades, even while teenagers were turning those places into social territory. Aladdin's castle itself became part of a Supreme Court dispute after Mesquite, Texas restricted minors' access to one of its arcades. Historians have documented how malls increasingly used security, surveillance, and rules to manage teenage presence during the 1980s. Apparently, every generation invents a place for teenagers to gather, and then adults become suspicious when teenagers actually gather there. But that mild friction mattered. You learned how to occupy a world that wasn't designed entirely around you. You had to decide when to approach somebody, read whether a joke landed, figure out when you were annoying people, deal with embarrassment, handle somebody saying no, work out disagreements before somebody's mother arrived to pick everybody up. None of this means Gen X developed perfect social skills. We absolutely did not. It means the environment forced practice. The network transmitted more than information. It constantly required face-to-face negotiation. Then the internet began separating them all into individual services. Music discovery moved online. Gaming moved home and then online. Shopping moved online. Friends moved onto social platforms. Movies moved toward streaming. Food could eventually come to the house. Each new system was incredibly convenient, but convenience also removed one reason after another to enter the shared space. Social researchers now use the term third place for informal gathering environments outside home and work, and contemporary research still finds that shopping centers can function as important social infrastructure rather than merely retail machines. Social media replaced the functions better than it replaced the place. The group chat is faster than the food court. Streaming gives us more movies than the multiplex ever could. Online stores contain more clothes than any mall. Gaming connects millions of players, and a feed can introduce you to people anywhere on Earth. But these systems generally let us choose the function first. The mall made the functions collide. You went for the arcade and encountered somebody outside it. You went for shoes and ended up at a movie. You went to meet 3 friends and came home knowing 5. That's what I think disappeared with the old mall experience. Not shopping, we solved shopping. Not entertainment. We have more entertainment than we know what to do with. We lost some of the accidental connection that happened when all of those things occupied the same physical network. If remembering these places helps explain why something feels different now, there are more Gen X patterns to follow here. I still remember Saturdays inside Aladdin's castle, the Orange Julius, the movie theater, my friends, and whatever trouble we managed to find. We didn't call any of it social media. We just called it going to the mall. Thanks for watching. If this brought back a few memories, give the video a like and subscribe to Gen X Explains if you want another reminder that the technology changes, but the patterns don't. Check out the recommended video on screen.